Eddena, the alpha of her pack, is in a forbidden love with a human named Adrien. She's been hiding her true identity from him. But things get complicated when her brother Kyle's secret relationship with Steven from a rival pack is exposed. Suddenly, Steven is attacked and left for dead, and Edena's pack is blamed. Now Eddena has to protect her brother's mate, while also dealing with the growing threat of war. And all the while, she's trying to figure out how to tell Adrien the truth without losing him. Chapter 15. Edena's POV. I gently guided Tyler and Kyle away from Adrien, their protective instincts clearly on high alert. The tension in the air was palpable, and I knew I needed to address their concerns before things escalated further. I asked Jay, my brother's close friend, to keep an eye on Adrien for a while, hoping to defuse the situation. Once we were out of earshot, I turned to face my brother and my childhood friend, their faces etched with concern and anger. What's going on with you two? I asked, fixing them with a pointed look. Kyle, his protective nature in full force, spoke first. He hurt you. I felt your heartbreak through the bond. And after that, you expect me to act like nothing happened for his sake. That I can't do. Nobody hurts my sister and lives, he said, his voice trembling with barely contained rage. I then turned to Tyler, my loyal friend who had always been there for me. And what do you have to say about this? Tyler's eyes were filled with nothing but concern as he replied. Eddie, he hurt your feelings. If he didn't want you, then it's his loss. You deserve the best. Eddie, their words touched me deeply. I understood their reactions. Kyle's wolf had always been protective of me, treating me like his own pup. And Tyler had been my closest confidant growing up. Their love and concern were evident, but I knew I had to make them see reason. I pulled them both into a tight embrace, feeling the warmth of their affection. I love you guys, and I know you love me too. I get why you're mad at him, but you at least have to give him a chance. This is all still new to him, and he doesn't know what mates mean for us. As I stepped back, I looked at them expectantly, hoping for some sign of understanding. They exchanged a glance before nodding simultaneously and saying, "No promises," with their signature smirks. I couldn't help but shake my head, wondering how I'd manage all the protective males in my life. We made our way back to the dining room, where Kyle and Tyler, to their credit, apologized to Adrien for their behavior. They, showing a glimpse of understanding, mentioned that he had sisters too, so he could relate to their protective instincts. For now, at least, a fragile peace had been established, and I allowed myself a moment of relief. The path ahead might be challenging, but with my family and friends by my side, I felt ready to face whatever came our way. 3 hours later, Adrien and I are sitting in my office and he's talking to his family. And I'm doing some serious work. Yeah, staring at our mate is serious work. Flicker mocked me. Look who's back. Where have you been? I asked her. Just then someone waved his hand at my face. Did you hear a thing I say? Adrien said with an amused expression. Yeah, you were saying something. I answered, giving him my best smile. He chuckled and continued. I was telling you about a mysterious helper. My mom told me that someone sends 10,000 to her account. I said, trying to look surprised. Yeah, Mom thinks that the driver who hit Dad's car is that anonymous helper, he said with his voice breaking at the end. I got up from my spot and hugged him. Flicker was purring in my head because of the close contact with our mate, but I still have a lot on my plate. Like, I still have to tell him about the pack thing without giving anything about werewolves. That should be easy. Right. Adrien, you know that I'm the leader of my tribe, right? I asked him. That caught his attention and he simply nods, so I continued. And you are my soulmate, that makes you a leader too. What? He almost yelled in my ears. I must say he looks so cute with shock written all over his face. Yes, you are also a leader of this tribe, I said slowly, like I was talking to a child. But I do not know anything about your tribe or leadership or anything. He shuddered. That's why I want to tell you about my tribe. And you have leadership skills, you are captain of your team. Weren't you? I told him and he nodded again. As you know, I am the leader of this tribe. And Jay is my second in command and Tyler is third in command. Kyle teaches self-defense. I explained him. Okay. So what would I be doing? He asked, seeming genuinely curious. You don't have to do anything for now. But you'll be making important decisions with me and taking care of mine soon, our businesses. I told him and he nodded in understanding. So you want to stay here or you want to go back to your place? I asked him, hoping he would stay here. Here, clear. He said the way too fast and blushed. Mate wants to stay with us. Flicker said, jumping in my head. Calm down or you'll give me a headache. I told her and smiled at our mate, who still was looking anywhere but at us. Maybe this will not be that difficult. Maybe this is the start of something beautiful. Maybe. Chapter 16. 3 days later, Dad is coming back today. And it's not that I'm not happy about his return, it's just that I am kinda scared of how he would react toward Adrien. After seeing Kyle and Tyler's reaction, I can pretty much imagine how he would react. I can only hope he didn't decide to kill him before even giving him a chance to say anything. Speaking of Adrien, he has been attached to my back these past days. Not that I'm complaining, I loved every moment I spent with him. He even refused to go to his home to get his clothes. After several attempts, I managed to send him to a nearby mall with Jay to buy him some clothes and other essentials. He also told me that we are meeting his family this weekend, which is 4 days from today. I'm nervous. What if his mother didn't approve of me? Or what if she didn't like me or like us together? When I told him about my worries, he just laughed at me and said what's not to like. It was sweet, but it didn't help with my nerves. And I almost got a heart attack, if that's possible, when Dad told me about his return. My thoughts came to a halt when a pack member mind linked me, saying, Alpha, there is a wolf from Blood Moon Pack requesting to meet you. And your brother is personally escorting him. We didn't have any prior information about his arrival, so I thought I should inform you. You did the right thing. Dames. I told him and looked around my surrounding. I forgot that I was in my office. It's almost 11 in the morning and I'm alone at the moment, as Adrien is playing with some kids. Kids love him and he is great with them. Well, as a witch. Well, the whole pack accepted him and I'm grateful for them too. He's so understanding and open-minded. I asked them to be careful about what they say in front of him and also asked them not to shift anywhere near him. Knocking at the door brought me back to reality again. God, I'm doing that a lot lately. It also reminded me of the current situation. Why would someone from the Blood Moon Pack want to meet me? I'm sure their alpha has no idea of this meet. And why would Kyle go to escort him? They walked in and I look at them with a frown. Why is Kyle standing there in a protective stance? Why is the holdingness? Why didn't you tell me anything? Me of all people. I've always supported you. I yelled at him. He flinched and started looking down. I wanted to tell you about us. But. He shuddered out. Get out of my office right now. I growled at him. The other guy pushed Kyle behind him and put on a protective stance and started leaving together. AWW, they are so cute. But now is not the time for this. Flicker is excited about it as she finally got a chance to take her revenge. While I was still new about this whole shifting things, Kyle and Flicker would always start their conversations, which usually cost me several minutes of control over my body. And at the end of these conversations, Kyle was always right. I love my brother, but he has been ass with Adrien, so this is my time for a little revenge. You stay here. I want to talk to you, I said calmly to the other guy. Kyle opens his mouth to protest, but when I gave him a pointed look, he left the office without saying anything. I turned toward the guy standing in my office and tell him to take a seat. Sorry for that. I just wanted to mess with my stupid brother. How long have you been together? When did you meet? And by the way, Eddena? I asked him, giving him my sweet smile. He chuckled and said, I already like you. I'm Steven and I'm the younger brother of the beta of Blood Moon Pack. He'll answer all your questions. You just need to slow down, it's a long story. I took a deep breath and nodded toward him to continue, to which easily comply. 2 years ago, I saw your brother at the mall. He was with his friends and I was there all by myself. When we saw each other, we knew that we are meant to be together. But I panicked. I was scared that he might reject me or he might be disgusted with me. So I did what anyone in my situation would do. I ran. I know that it's very cliché, but that's the only thing that came to my mind at that moment. So I ran and hid in the men's room. I was standing there staring at my reflection in the mirror, cursing myself for my stupidity, when your brother came in with this almighty aura around him. I then noticed that he has alpha blood in him that made me think that he came here to reject me. But what he did next surprised me. He hugged me like he has no intention of ever letting me go. I was feeling great, but then I noticed something wet on my shoulder. It took me a moment to realize that he took my running as a sign of rejection. I told him about my thoughts and fears, and he just laughed and told me that he would never leave me. He told me with a blush on his face, "How did you guys manage to stay away from each other for this long? Why didn't you tell anyone?" I asked him, genuinely curious, as I can't even stay away from my mate for a month. We meet every other day. And there is Skype too. You know, all the things people do in a long-distance relationship. And he was ready to tell everyone about us that day, but I stopped him. My pack has a very orthodox mindset. They would never accept me and my relationship. And I was kinda scared of every honest reaction. Whined out. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad you came here, but I just want to understand what happened. I asked him. I understand. And you are right, something did happen. My alpha is getting suspicious of me. He just needs one slip up and he would kill me and my mate. And I know for sure that my brother wouldn't try to stop him. How he would help him. And I can't stay away from him anymore. I have already wasted a lot of time on people who would never accept me. But you should also know that if you let me in your pack, it would bring war. My alpha wouldn't stop until he has my head. He finished with tears in his eyes. I knew what he needed most of this time, so I called Kyle in. It took him 1 second to notice his mate, and he went there to comfort him. "Stephen, you are welcome in our pack and you don't have to worry about anything. Anyone who wants to get you have to go through me. You can join our pack today, or if you wanted to go back to get your stuff or anything, then you can join us tomorrow." I told him softly, "Tomorrow would be fine." He said, still holding his tears back. Kyle looks at him with concern but didn't say anything. "And Kyle, since you like hiding things from me, I think you should hide in your room for the whole day. You're grounded." I told Kyle with a smug look on my face that earned a laugh from Stefan. Kyle turned to him and glared at him, which only made him laugh harder. To prove how serious I am about his punishment, I called Tyler to take him to his room and Jay to escort Stefan to pack border. To say they were shocked was an understatement. But Tyler was happy that he finally got this golden opportunity. They asked me what Kyle did wrong, but I told them it's his secret to tell. And Kyle was so embarrassed that he found the floor more interesting. If Kyle thinks he had it bad with me, then he has no idea what is in his way when Dad returns. Kyle would have to handle a lot of angry people. I know they won't be angry at him for the reason he thinks, but they would be angry because he didn't tell them. I love him and I would protect him, but this time I would give him some alone time with them. Dad is going to have his hand full with Kyle, so I hope he won't be giving me and Adrien a hard time. I know that makes me look bad, but I'm ready to have a little relief no matter how I get it. And I will help Kyle eventually. Chapter 17. I sent Adrien to Jay's house, just to be safe. And when I find the right opportunity, I will let him meet Dad. I hope I will get that opportunity. Or more specifically, courage, right? Flicker taunted me, but I just ignored her. Dad must be coming any minute as he has entered the pack borders. Yes, I told people to alert me. I need time to prepare myself. Eddena, my princess, I miss you, Dad said while hugging me. And where is my stupid son? Shouldn't he be here to greet his old man? He should, but right now he's a bit trapped in a difficult situation. I told him, trying to suppress my smile. What situation? What happened? Dad asked, a bit confused. He is grounded for the day, I said with a smug smile. Yes, what? Dad almost screamed and started laughing. What? What did he do this time? He said as he struggled to control his laugh. He kept secret from his family. I told him as matter of fact. And Dad didn't need to be told twice as he made his way toward Kyle's room. Dad hated secrecy in the family, especially after Mom. The reason Kyle is having punishment is we all promised each other that we won't keep secrets in the family. And I can tell he's going to have a really hard time, as the last thing I heard was Kyle Karen Black. It's been an hour since Dad went to Kyle's room and I'm dying to know what is happening there. Maybe I could hear something if I get a little closer. Or not, as I heard the door open. And Dad came down with a very ashamed Kyle behind him. So that went well. As I have dealt with your brother, are you going to tell me about your mate? Or do we have to repeat everything I did with your brother? Dad asked with a tired expression, and my face must have shown emotions like shock or horror, or maybe a bit of both, as Dad continued. What? You didn't think that I won't notice some male smell all over you? Well, I hoped you didn't. I sighed. Why, where did I went wrong that my own kids have to hide things from me? Dad said with his classic I failed as father expression. Don't get me wrong, but my father loves drama. I don't have any excuse for why I did that. Just that I don't want you to look at me differently. I'm still the same old me. But Eddie has a really good point of being scared of you meeting her mate. Kyle said with guilt and sympathy. What would I do to her mate? You guys just like to picture me as a villain. That's all. Dad said with faking hurt by putting a hand over his heart. A, you are almost shifting while talking about my mate. And B, you never let me talk to any male that's not family. I pointed. I let you talk to Jay and Tyler. Dad said. Like I said, other than family. And their family. You even threw daggers at every male that come to pack meetings. I told him. Cause they deserve that and more. But I'm really thankful that your mate is human, as I can't imagine what I would have done if he had been an alpha. Dad said with the last part more to himself. What do you mean? I asked, not sure if I heard correctly. I can't let you leave me. You're my princess, and I would kill every fucking man who tries to take you away from me. Dad said while clenching his fist, and then he turned toward Kyle and said, on the other hand, I don't mind if someone takes you. I might even be happy. This made Kyle huffing in frustration and mumbling something under his breath, and me laughing so hard that I fell on the floor trying to catch my breath. I knew you were adopted. I teased him, as I always told Kyle. Dad was mad at him for being gay. He was mad because Kyle didn't tell him. Dad also blamed himself for not being a good father. But overall it went well. Dad made me call Jay to bring Adrien home. I'm still scared, but it has to be done. But I did warn Dad about Adrien having no idea about the werewolf business. I just hope Dad won't go all dad on my poor Adrien. Chapter 18. Dad took Adrien to a different room to talk, and I have no idea what's going on there. But I know it's happening with Kyle. Tyler and Jay are giving him a piece of their mind, which may or may not include some punches. Well, he deserved that and more for keeping secrets in the family. It's already dark outside and been 20 minutes. 20 fucking minutes since Dad and Adrien went to talk and Kyle and the boys went out to sort their matter. And I'm left here to bite my nails in anticipation. Nails. If you bite one more time, you'll be biting your fingers. Stop worrying, everything will be alright. Dad knows we love him and we know that Adrien is a good guy. So just relax. Flicker told me. You know usually I'm the one consoling you. It's weird to see the role change. I told her. Before she could reply, I heard footsteps coming toward me, and with the mal, watering aroma in the air. I know who's coming. It only increases my anticipation. He came to me with a smile on his face. Never knew a smile could calm my nerves this way. And the only thing in my mind is to jump on him right now, right here. But all my actions came to halt when Ad entered the room. I look at Dad, an idea of his mood or thoughts. He just came to me and hugged me and said, "You really find a good one here." And I told him what would happen if he ever broke your heart. The last part came out with a menacing tone directed toward Adrien, and I fight my urge to roll my eyes at his protectiveness. Dad cleared his throat and asked, looking around, "Where's your brother?" "Outside with Jay and Tyler. Talking." I replied with relief written on my face. I turned to Adrien and asked him and Dad for dinner. Don't judge me, this day has been really tiring, and now when everything is sorted, I'm starving. After 10 minutes, boys join us for dinner, and I clearly can see bruises on Kyle's face. I smirked at him and he glares at me. Then I turn to Tyler and ask, "What happened to you?" "He was stupid," Kyle replied, and Tyler growled at him. "I didn't know stupidity can make his nose bleed." Dad laughed at them. He was being stupid by making fun of Kyle about how he enjoyed his grounding, which resulted in this. Jay explained, pointing at Tyler's face. We laughed at each other as we ate our dinner. And after that, Dad and the boys said their farewell for the night, and Kyle went to his room, so it's just me and Adrien. I can feel the tension in the air. It's like an electric charge pulling us together. And I so much want to take our relationship further, but I know I have to wait till I tell him about werewolf things, because I don't think I can stop myself from marking him if we start. We both are staring at each other, knowing fully well that it's time to part our ways and go to our rooms, but not wanting to go different ways. Even if it's just a different room. I sighed and extended my hand for him, which he took without hesitation. I need to feel this connection. To feel him. This charge in the air is getting more and more suffocating, calling me to release this tension. I know he can feel it, as I see the change in his breathing, and with heavy steps we start walking toward his room. "What did you and Dad talk about? He seemed genuinely impressed by you." I asked him to delay the part where I have to go to mine to distract us. "You look really surprised with the fact that your dad is impressed with me. Did you think I couldn't impress him, or do you think I'm not worthy enough?" He said with fake hurt in his voice. "You know what I meant. So stop being a drama queen," I said while drawing a small pattern on his hand as we reached his door. He laughed and pulled me in. "Just about normal things that every dad asks any boy their daughter thinks is the one with some threats. Nothing unusual," he said, looking in my eyes. He inhaled deeply, and in one swift move, he had me pinned against the door. His eyes bored into mine before they flicked down to my mouth and lingered there. His tongue slipped out to wet his lips as his eyes shifted to mine. I closed my eyes as his fingers traced a line on my cheek, down to the hollow on my throat when my pulse was beating wildly. Just a taste. He inhaled deeply. My hands fisted to prevent myself from touching him and to hold the last strands of my control. "Kiss me," he said, sucking my bottom lip between his, licking and biting lightly. And then he put his arm around me, pulling me against his body while his other hand secured the back of my neck. His lips became hard and demanding, challenging me to kiss back. His kiss turned almost desperate as I kissed him back. The world became hazy and I felt my teeth aching to touch his skin, to graze at his neck. "Stop," I protested against his lips, my palms flattening against his chest to push him away. He let me go. We were both panting. He exhaled slowly, and I heard him swallow as he rested his forehead against mine. We need to stop. There is something bad. I need to tell you before we," I said while tried fumbling to find the right words through my clouded brain. He looked at me with an expression that I could only understand as fear and take a step back. I hold his hand tightly as he takes his hand away from the back of my neck and gave it a reassuring squeeze. "It's nothing like that," I said, reading his expression as I saw wheels turning in his head. "It was amazing. I don't even have the right word to describe it. Trust me, it's taking every ounce of control to stop myself from kissing you," I assured him. "Then why are you stopping yourself?" he asked with hurt written all over him. "Because I need to tell you something about me that I should have told you earlier, but I was scared of losing you," I told him. "We will talk about this tomorrow. It's a long conversation and I need to show you something." I bid my goodbye and start walking to my room with a heavy heart. Flicker is whining in my head to go back to our mate. I know we can't go back cause I wouldn't be able to control myself, and I'm scared of his reaction, but I also know that I scared him too. I didn't want to leave him hanging like this, but I need to prepare myself for the talk. And Goddess knows I need all the strength I could gather. Chapter 19. I woke up with Flicker pacing in my head. I can feel the anxiety flowing through my veins. I check the time. Damn, it's 10:30 am. I don't remember the last time I slept this late. This happened because I couldn't sleep all night trying to figure out how I'd talk to him, which resulted in me sleeping till 10. I tried asking Flicker what's wrong, but she ignored me and kept pacing. I swear she is trying to give me a heart attack. "Oh, shut up," You can't have a heart attack. That's not possible. She screamed and kept pacing. Please tell me what the hell is wrong. The suspense is killing me. I begged her. I don't know what is happening. Rudy is scared and I can't help but catch his feelings. She replied, it has to do something with his mate. I told her. I linked Jay and asked him to meet me at my office in 15 minutes. Which means I have 10 minutes to get my shit together and 5 minutes to reach my office. Thank goodness. I don't use makeup, otherwise getting ready in 10 minutes would have been impossible. I was on my way to the pack house where my office is when I met Dad. He has the exact same expression as me. We nod at each other and entered the office. So you're feeling it too? He asked. Yeah. I replied. Just then Jay came in with Tyler along with him. Jay, I need you to go to Blood Moon Packin' since we can tenter in the pack. I want you to stay at the border, and if you see Steven, I want you to bring him back to our pack. And if anything seems suspicious or wrong, call me. I told him. He nods and leave. Then I turned to Tyler. I need you to keep an eye on Kyle and make sure he won't do anything stupid. He nods and starts leaving when I said, Tyler, we might need to prepare for conflicts. You think his mate is in trouble? Dad asked me with worried expression. I checked on that pack's history. Steven was telling the truth. They would never accept his relationship with Kyle, and would do anything to stop them. I just hope we are not late. I told him, don't worry. We'll handle it. If that son of a bitch needs a war, well, give him one. 'Cause nobody messes with my kids. Dad said, bringing me in a hug. This day is getting really long. Jay is waiting at Blood Moon Pack's border for hours and still got nothing. Kyle has come to asking permission to leave the pack border, which I politely declined. I have a pretty clear idea where he wants to go. I told him that everything is fine and he's just being paranoid. I know I'm lying to him, but when it comes to our mate, we wolves don't tend to use our brains a lot. Since I can't expect him to think rationally, I can't tell him that I have already sent a little expedition to bring his mate home. It took lots of explaining and time to convince him that I'll do everything in my power to bring Steven back to his new home. It's almost 4 p.m. and I'm really trying hard to stop myself from calling Jay and telling him to screw the rules and just go and bring Steven back. I know this will only increase trouble and we can't have that. I was just sitting in my office holding my head when Adrien came in. Then it hit me, we were supposed to talk today. Could this day get any worse? Hey, you're okay? He asked and came to me. Yeah. I didn't even believe myself. He didn't and hold me tightly to himself. His warm embrace made me relax, like I can feel all the tension leaving my body. I should just stick to him and I won't feel tense ever. Maybe I could use glue or something. I thought we were going to talk about something. He said, and I was thinking it's impossible to tense when he's holding me like this. Yes, I was wrong. Yeah, about that. I swear I'm not trying to avoid the inevitable. Today has just been distracting. I told him while nuzzling more into his neck. Inevitable. But he chuckled. And I just took the moment to enjoy the peace I'm feeling right now, Eddie. Flicker finally stopped pacing and is purring because of how close we are to our mate Eddie. I can't even remember what got me worked up the whole day. Eddena, I don't want to let go. Your phone is ringing, he said amusingly. Just 1 more minute. I said, still clinging to him like it's matter of life or death. Eddena, it's Jay. It might be important. He said, and that got my attention. I literally jumped to pick up the phone. Jay, what's happening? I asked. I got him, Eddie, and we are halfway to our pack. Jay replied, but... I asked, not really wanting to hear. But he's hurt. Like really hurt. And they are kin to coming after us or him. He said, and I can feel tension through his voice. How bad? I asked. Like several stab wounds with silver knife end. And with the rate of the healing process, I can say that knife was coated with wolfsbane. And I'm not sure how the hell he made it to the borders. He said, shit, Kyle. He's going to be mad. No, furious. Rudy must have felt his mate's bane. Eddie, find Kyle and stay with him till I reach there. He said, and I told him that I would do that and he should be careful. What happened? Adrien asked. I totally forgot that he was still there. Kyle's mate is hurt. Really bad. I told him. I linked Tyler and told him to meet me at the PAX hospital with Kyle. We need to get to the hospital and make sure everything is ready for their arrival, and I need to talk to Kyle. I said and start walking out. Adrien take my hand in his and gave them reassuring squeeze. I was talking to the doctor, telling him what Jay told me when Tyler came with Kyle. What's wrong? Kyle asked. Jay is coming with Steven and HES hurt. I told him. It took him a couple of seconds to understand what I said. He just sit on the ground holding his head in his hands. How bad? He asked. Pretty bad. I told him. Just then Jay entered with a bloody and unconscious Steven on his shoulder, and we all rushed to him. Doctor and nurses came and took him inside the room. Kyle tried entering with his mate, but the doctor asked him to wait outside and we all had to hold him to stop. I turned to Jay to ask him what happened there. I was just waiting there for anything, and at that point, I was thinking whether I should enter or just wait outside, when I saw someone stumble just a foot outside the pack border. I went to check who it was, and I heard people coming toward us. I saw that it was Steven, so I took him into my car and started driving. And this is how I reached here. He explained. Eddie Blood Moon Pax Alpha is at our borders and demanding that we surrender Steven and his mate. Tyler informed me. He'll handle that bastard. How dare he hurt him? Kyle growled. Kyle, stay here. Your mate needs you right now. He'll handle him, I said, putting my hand on his chest to stop him and to calm him slightly. I told Jay to stay with Kyle and asked Tyler to come with me. I also called Dad to join Kyle and Jay at the hospital. I really don't want him near the border right now. He'll come with you, Adrien said. Adrien and I don't think that's a good idea. It might be dangerous, Tyler told him with genuine concern. I know I'm not trained like you guys, but Eddie, I'm not letting you go without me, he said while looking deeply in my eyes. Okay, but you have to promise that whatever you see or hear, you would give me a chance to explain before you reach any conclusion. I pleaded him. Okay, he said. Chapter 20. I'm going to the pack border with Tyler and Adrien. And Flicker keeps telling me all the things that could go wrong. Like I don't know how bad this idea is. He's not supposed to know things like that. But what am I supposed to do? Tell him he can't come with me and let him think that I don't trust him? Reaching the border is taking time in our human form, but with Adrien shifting is out of the question. We finally reach the border, and I can literally feel the tension in the air, not just because of Adrien being with us, but also from my warriors trying to control themselves from attacking the Alpha. I wanted to meet with the Alpha, not some pup or girl. Where is your Alpha pup? Is he too scared to meet me? Said the Alpha of a Blood Moon pack. This earned him a growl from every member of my pack except me and Adrien. I just rolled my eyes at his pathetic excuse of insult man. I'm the Alpha and am a little surprised that you wanted to meet me this bad, that you thought you could come to my pack without any prior notice or my permission, I said. You are the Alpha, he said with disgust and anger, and looked at Tyler and pack warriors and continued. And you all are okay with that? What a bunch of weaklings. I can see the anger in everyone with me, with their clenched fists and hard-set jaws like they are grinding their teeth in anger. Stop beating the bush, Alpha. I'm sure you didn't come here to mock us. You must have some reason to come here. So do us all some favor and come to the damn point. I growled in frustration. I want my pack member back along with his so-called mate, he said. He was your pack member. Now he belongs to mine. And you have no right demanding anything from anyone. So you better remove your fucking ass from my property, I said. He looked like he was going to explode. Maybe no girl gave him a piece of their minds before. As he opened his mouth to speak, his gaze shifted to Adrien. What in the name of the goddess this human is doing here? He screamed and took a step toward Adrien. I growled at him. Careful there, Alpha. You would let one threaten my mate. Mate. This miserable excuse of a mate of yours is unnatural, unholy, immoral. Your pack is going to be the end of our people. He glared at me and then turned to my pack warrior and continued. How could you accept these blasphemous acts? How could accept human among you? This was ample to make my pack members growl at the Alpha. Tyler stepped ahead ready to attack. I stopped him and pushed Adrien behind me. Alpha, you don't have any business here, so please remove your fucking ass and your pack member from my pack before I do something you might regret. I growled at him, while Flicker was demanding me to rip that pathetic waste of space. Alpha of Blood Moon packed while gritting his teeth, which made it clear that it's far from over. Why does it feels like he will be back sooner than our liking? Tyler asked. He will, and he will bring war with him. If he wants a war, he will get one. I so want to kill him. I can assure you that you are not alone. We'll discuss this tomorrow. For now, level wit for now. Increase the patrolling. Tyler turned to ask me something, but I just pointed toward Adrien, making him drop it. For now. After dismissing everyone, I turn to Adrien and offer him my hand, which he takes after a little hesitation. We start walking back home. The whole way a lot of things were going through my head, as what would I tell him or how would Kyle react? I didn't even notice where we were till Adrien stopped me. You asked not to overthink anything before giving you a chance to explain everything. So, please explain, cause I don't know what to think. I don't know where to start with. How about who was that guy and why was he talking to you like that? I don't know why, but his question made me smile. Maybe because he was still putting me first. I hope it goes well, and with that, I count my blessings. He was the alpha or leader of the Blood Moon pack, and he was talking to me like that because he thinks that women are incapable of leading a pack. That's ridiculous. You are a great leader. But why was he here in the first place? You know Steven is Kyle's mate and Steven belongs. No belong to his pack, and he doesn't approve his relation with Kyle. But why would he care? Okay, I get that he's homophobic, but like you, Steven does not belong to his pack anymore. I think I have to go deeper to explain it to you. We worship Moon Goddess and believe that she selects a person for us. That person is called mate, as they are basically our soulmate, our other half. And a person cannot live without their soulmate. We found our soulmate once we reached 16. Rejecting one's soulmate is very rare, as we cannot live without them, and the process of rejection is quite painful. And Kyle and Steven is the first gay couple. That's why it is hard for some people to accept that it's Moon Goddess's wish. And so are us. You are the first human mate. Why are you referring to human as you are not? And he also said human as it's something disgusting. Because I'm not human. I'm a werewolf. Chapter 21, I'm a werewolf. You're what? I'm a werewolf and leader of a werewolf pack. I said, hoping it goes well. Okay. Okay. What do you mean okay? I couldn't believe he said that. It's like it's no big deal. He ignored my question. You said that rejection from one's mate can be a painful experience. He said with the slight accusation in his voice, making me flinch. Rejection is a painful process for a werewolf, but as you are a human, bond was not strong from your side, so it wouldn't have affected you much. I said carefully. You mean to say that you were okay with me causing you pain? Why didn't you tell me everything before? What else did you lie about? He said with anger clearly showing from his eyes and body language. I didn't want you to feel trapped in this relation. I want you to have the choice to accept or reject, he added accusingly. Yes, I sighed. He started walking away from me, and as I tried to stop him, he said, Please don't. I need some time to think about everything. With that, he just walked away from me, and the look of hurt in his face made Flicker whimper from pain and rejection. I need to believe that everything is going to be okay, or I won't be able to function properly. And Goddess knows I can't afford to lose my wits at such times. I must have slept waiting for him, as the next thing I know is strong arms wrapped around me and carrying me inside. They carefully placed me on the couch and kissed my forehead. Sparks spread in my body, telling me that I'm in my mate's arm. I still can't believe werewolves are real, not just some fiction or myth. And to top it all, I'm mated with one. He sighed. Is that a bad thing? Bad thing? No, just hard to believe. And the weird thing is that I am not mad at you for hiding it. I'm mad at you for thinking that I could ever be okay with hurting you. I didn't mean it like that. I know now. It took me a while to understand your point of view, and I might also have some help from Tyler. So we are okay. I asked, scared shitless that maybe he would want to end things. Yes, we are okay. He laughed. Now tell me more about it. I'm sure there are still dozens of things that I need to know about werewolves. Yes, there are. I smiled. So tell me, woman, what are you waiting for? He said with the fake accent. Well, hell, we wolves. We age slower than humans and heal faster. Like way faster. You can literally see some wounds healing from your eyes. And we don't get sick normally. It takes a lot to make us fall ill. Wow, does this mean that you would look like my daughter after some decades? And if you don't get sick and all, then why does Jay wear glasses? No, I don't think that you would ever look like my dad, as mates we are made to live together. So Moon Goddess must have some plans for us. And Jay likes his glasses. He used to need them before, but after his first shift his eyes healed, or I don't know what is the right word here. But he continued to wear them cause he likes them. Cool, cool. It's good to know that I won't age normally. So basically you guys are invincible. No, we might be stronger than humans, but we do have some weaknesses like... Wait, you are willing to tell me your weaknesses? Why? Because I trust you, that's why. So as I was saying before, someone rudely interrupted me. We do have some weakness like silver. Wolfstain. How do you know that someone is your mate? I know you told me before, but I feel that there is more to know. Our wolf starts acting up and then all of a sudden we smell the most amazing smell in the world. When we find that person, it's like our whole world just stops and our wolf says, well, basically yells one thing made in our head. You're wolf. Wolf is like a different person living in your head who has different personalities and attitude. And sometimes they take control of our body. Can I see your wolf? I nod and took his hand and led him outside. All the while Flicker is dancing happily in my head. Chapter 22. Adrien's POV. Werewolves are real and am part of their world. How did this happen? How did my simple and normal life take such a dramatic turn? Oh yeah. When someone beautiful and totally out of my league decides to kidnap me. This is crazy, or maybe it's just me going crazy. Eddie told me all this about 2 hours ago and I'm still having a hard time dealing with this. I am not really proud of the way I handled everything. I ran away for 2 or more hours, leaving her with all this mess. But I was really mad she lied to me about the whole rejection thing. I could have hurt her. I know she had her reasons and they were not entirely wrong. But to even think that there was a chance that I might have hurt her scares the shit out of me. I don't know when she became this important part of me, but now I can't imagine my life without her. And all the talk about how strong and amazing they really are. I somehow don't feel threatened, instead I feel proud. Proud of her and our relationship. My train of thoughts came to stop when I heard what sounds like breaking of bones. I attempted to go to her to ease her pain, but even before I could take my first step, a white wolf stepped out from behind the tree. That white wolf's coat was like shining in the moonlight and her eyes were red like the fire is burning in them, and that red color reminds me of Eddia's red hair. Like in a trance I walk towards the wolf while she waits for me to detect my reaction. I extend my hand to touch its coat, taking slow steps toward it. The wolf is really huge. Bigger than the normal wolves for sure. It has such a strong energy that you would want to cower away from it or now and surrender. But it doesn't threaten me. Its whole presence is inviting me to it. All this time the wolf kept watching me, letting me handle things at my own pace. I took the final step to close the distance between us and my hand touches its face. There were sparks from where I touched her. Eddie, I said, surprised. I don't know why I was surprised when I asked her to show me her wolf. She growled. Did she growl at me? But I don't think she's mad at me, or I hope she's not mad. You're not Eddie. You are her wolf. I tried again. She nodded her head and jumped at me playfully and started licking my face. I never felt this loved and happy in my life. Chapter 23. You're not Eddie. You are her wolf. Flicker was on cloud 9 when her mate recognized her, and I feel guilty for not telling Adrien her name. But I don't think that she noticed. She is just busy licking his face. At first I was afraid that we might scare him, but HES enjoyed himself as he tried to control overly excited Flicker. Okay. Can you turn back? He said between his chuckle. Flicker whined and shook her head, saying no. I'll spend time with you. He promised, and Flicker looked in his eyes to see if HES telling the truth. When satisfied with his sincerity, she turned back to the tree where our clothes were. Why didn't he want to spend time with me? Did he not like me? Is he scared of me? I didn't scare him. Right. Calm down, Flicker. You didn't scare him. He just wants to talk, you know. She nods in understanding and gave me control back of my body, but I shift back to my human form. When I was fully dressed, I came out of the back of the tree and went to him. She likes me, right? Yes, she loves you. She doesn't have any problem with me not being a wolf. Nope. What's her name? She has a name. Right. Flicker. He rushed to me and engulfed me in a hug and whispered in my ear in his husky voice. Tell Flicker I love her and I love you, Eddena. This didn't exactly go as planned, but I couldn't be happier. I just want to freeze this moment. But there's still a lot to talk. We still have a lot to discuss. So I believe you still have some questions. Yeah. I kind of promised Flicker that I'll spend some time with her. I don't know how to do that, he said meekly. I could give her control, so you two could talk, or we could shift back. Once we mate, you might get mind link. Mind link. Mate. Mind link is like a telepathic conversation which kind of works on a Wi-Fi network which connects all pack member with each other. Wow, that's one way to put it. And I don't think anyone ever thinks of it that way, said Tyler, clearly hiding his chuckle. Well, then you explain it. Now I think you got it covered, but I can help you explain mating. You do have a death wish. Why are you here? I growled at him and advanced toward him. Adrien, control your mate. He put his hand up in defense and continue. I came to tell you that Steven is out of danger. Being close to Kyle is healing him. But Kyle needs to be with him for a couple of days. Did you tell them about the upcoming war? Yeah, and I can tell your dad is really scary. I want to talk to you about something. I think I knew what you want to talk about and I need to ask a favor, I said, looking at Adrien. I need you to train Adrien. Train? Are kidding me? I was going to suggest that he should stay at his folks till all this drama ends. Do you think that he would agree? And we can protect him here. He wouldn't dare attack human town. He would be safer with his family. He is standing right here and he is not running away. So you better him how to fight. Adrien tells us in a tone that means he won't change his mind. See, I told you so. And I trust you with this task, and I also want some kind of weapon for him. You trust him with weapons, hey? Hey, don't mean to give stink eye. I was just kidding. What I meant to say was that I feel honored that you trust me to train your mate. Okay. I'm leaving and meet me at the training ground. Shock 9. And with that, he left alone before I could get a chance to attack him. But for some reason, Adrien is giving me weird looks. So mating. I don't think I want to wait for that one. I gulped as he said that in my ear. Well, Bethel Witch, this is going to be interesting. Chapter 24. He advanced towards me like a predator walking toward his prey. My heartbeat increases as he takes one more step towards me with different emotions in his eyes. Lust and love were the most prominent one. This moment could have been perfect only if I was frozen at my place. I had wished for this moment since I saw him at the mall. But now that's happening, it's feel too good to be true. And if I made one wrong move, all this would end like a dream. I was too deep in the thoughts when a strong hand come round my waist and pulled me into their hard chest. You want this, right? I could stop it. I stopped him before he could complete the sentence and shake my head. I want you. I have always wanted and will always want you. It's just hard to believe how could I get this lucky that Moon Goddess granted me with you. You are everything I could dream of and more. Sometimes I feel like this is all a dream and am going to wake up and you won't be there with me. I tell him, pouring all my fears and insecurities to him. You are not getting rid of me that easily. I'm not leaving your side for anything. You bring the supernatural in my life. You think any boy from my school could say that? He chuckled softly, holding me close to him. You wanted to know about matting, but I don't think it is the right time for that. But we could do other things. Your wish is my command. My lady, he said with a hint of rejection in his voice. Don't think that. I mean that I don't know how your body will react to my mark, and this time I can't afford to take any risk. Your mark. Shit. I forgot to tell you about the manning process. But we don't need to stand here all night. Let's go and then we'll continue this. I peck his lips and take his hand in mine. I led him inside the house to my room. We sat on the bed looking in each other's eye. None want to break the trance we were in. My gaze shifted from his eyes to his lips. He noticed the movement of my eyes as he takes a sharp breath. I lean in close to him, close enough for me to feel his breath on my face. He bent down until I could feel his mouth almost brushed my lips. I could barely breathe. So thick with sparkling tension was the air around us. Adrien's arms were around me in a millisecond, caging me in, and then his lips came crashing down on mine. Adrien's lips were soft, yet somehow incredibly hard and demanding. They were exactly as I remembered from our last kiss. His mouth claimed mine in burning need, sending shivers after shivers down my back. Arms were drawing me closer towards him, holding me against his body. A familiar hand slipped behind my back, gripping my neck, holding it in place. As his lips pressed harder against mine, I gasped, giving him the chance to pass his tongue into mine. How long did it go on? Minutes, hours, years. I didn't know, and I couldn't have cared less. With Adrien's lips devouring mine, it seemed rather hard to remember breathing. We break free, both trying to catch our breath. I stepped back, making some space between us while we were breathing hard. We were talking, I breathed and took a couple of a deep breath. Yes, we were. But can't we do it later, Adrien said, leaning in again. I placed my hand on his lips. Oh, his lips. Eddie, focus. You need to understand mating. He moved my hand from his lips and held them down in my lap while he leans down close to my neck. I feel his breath on my ear. That I do. He whispered sweetly, taking my earlobe between his teeth, gently nibbling. I growled, stop distracting me. Goddess, he is going to be the death of me. I felt him smile as he pressed a soft kiss on my neck. Ugh, mating is to tell other wolf that you are claimed. He asked, continuing his sweet assault on my neck. Claiming means you belong to someone and they belong to you. It is done by marking. Mates bite each other on their neck. That forms a mark that lasts lifelong and tell other wolves that they have a mate. That somehow got his attention as he froze at his place on my neck. I wait for him to tell me what he's thinking. I waited for a couple of seconds before he moved back with a pale face. Do both have to mark each other? That depends on people and their relation. In some relations, only male mark his mate. In some, both mark each other. But I won't be able to mark you. I want to. How would I keep other males away from you? He spoke so innocently that I can't stop myself from laughing. He frowned at me. That won't be necessary. I know I'm yours as you are mine. Chapter 25. He spoke so innocently that I can't stop myself from laughing. He frowned at me. That won't be necessary. I know I'm yours as you are mine. Once the mating process is complete, it would mean we are connected body and soul. Our scent would be mixed, which would tell another wolf that you're taken. We would be able to feel each other's emotions and hopefully each other thought too. You might get a mind link between us. That does sound good, he said while paying special attention to my neck, making Flicker start purring in my head. I let Flicker take control. They need to spend some time with each other before all the shit show starts. Somehow Adrien felt Flicker's presence without looking at my eyes. Flicker, he said, continuing the sweet torture on my neck, giving special attention to my sweet spot where his mark would go if by some miracle he could mark me. Mate, she purred while brushing one finger on his lips. That was all it took for his lips to come crashing down on mine. His arms were around me, pulling me more into him. His tongue was fighting to claim my mouth as his and Flicker were fighting back, wanting not to be claimed but to claim him as ours. Flicker, docent Stark, something we can't finish, I warned. Who knew when we would have an opportunity like this? Better take advantage of it. Breaking our kiss, Flicker slid from his lips and moved down over his neck, where a mark would be. Ah, he groaned as my teeth sank into his neck. She grinned to him, bending to his neck again, and placed a soft, gentle kiss on the place of bite, what a mark would be when we'll claim him as ours. Mine, she whispered. He sucked in a deep breath and groaned. If you don't want to take it further, I suggest you stop, before I lose the last ounce of control. Flicker timidly nodded and stopped her assault on his neck, but made no efforts to detach herself from his body. I was happy that they finally got to spend some time. And she was on cloud 9. All the worries from earlier disappeared in the wind. We spent the night in each other's arm. And let me tell you, it was the best night of my life. Flicker gave me control when our mates started nodding off. They talked about many things. Both cleared their doubts and insecurities. If I thought sleeping with him was good, walking up next to him with his arms holding me close has no comparison. I want to lay there whole day. But as the sun is rising, I need to get up cause this is going to be a long day. I need to check on Kyle and Steven. I need to discuss yesterday's event with Dad, Jay and Tyler, and prepare the pack for war. I'm responsible for the safety of everyone who lives inside the pack border. At least Tyler is going to train Adrien, with Kyle being with his mate Tyler as to take up the training of warriors. I need Jay to plan our strategies. Speaking of Tyler, he must be arriving. I need to wake Adrien up. Adrien, I called, is shaking him gently, which is difficult considering my arms are trapped between his chest. I tried to shuffle away, but he pulled me into him more. After trying for a couple of minutes, an idea came in my head, and I start placing small kisses on his neck, chest, wherever I could reach. In a flash, our position changed and I'm laying on top of his chest while he hugged me even more. How was that possible? I could have sworn a second ago that there was absolutely no space between us. I could get used to this, he said, placing a kiss on my forehead. Chapter 26. I could get used to this, he said, placing a kiss on my forehead. Yeah, but you need to get up. Tyler would be here soon. I scolded him while trying to push him away. But did I succeed? Nope. The only reply I got was a squeeze. Goddess. HES going to be death me. Am the one who's supernatural here. I should be the one who had more power. Right. I don't think that anyone told him that. I swear when it comes to him, I don't think I have any power. He holds all the power in this relation. This boy has me tired to his little finger with just a smile. Smile like the one HES giving me right now. Do I really have to? Yes. It's just been a night and you're already kicking me out of the bed. Ouch. That hurts. You don't want to get up. Nope. You know. It's for your training. Right. Still no. Okay. Then you left me no choice. You can stay in the bed as long as you want. Stop grinning. You are going back to your mom's apartment today. That was below the belt. That's just not fair. You want me out of bed. I'm out. With that said, he got up from the bed as it was on fire and went to the door. Where are you going now? You wanted me out, so that's exactly what I'm doing. I rolled my eyes at his childish behavior and at the pout he was giving me right before he left. Sometimes I wonder why can't I have normal people in my life? Everyone seems crazy. Only Jay is the one you could call normal. Like you are the normal one. You are the craziest of them all. Thanks. Slicker. I didn't know that. But I blame Dad for it. Stop fooling around. You also need to get your ass up. Adrien yelled from the corridor. Unfortunately, yes. I need to go check on Steven and Kyle. Tyler must have told them about yesterday, but I still to discuss this with them. I grudgingly get up from the bed to get ready. After 20 minutes I was good to go. When I went downstairs, I found Tyler talking to my mate about training. I just nodded at them before leaving. I went straight to the pack hospital. I know it's just 8 in the morning, but this is going to be a long day. I entered the room and found my brother sleeping beside his mate's bed holding his hand. I felt anger flow through me. These guys had gone through a lot. They'll be damned before it'll let anyone hurt them again. I went to Kyle and gently wake him. He slowly opened his eyes and I could tell he spent most of the night crying. He looked up at me and hugged me. I know HES hurting. Partially because he took some of his mate's pain, but mostly because he blames himself for this. Kylie, you need to go home. You spent the whole night here. I can't leave him like this. What if he wakes up and I'm not here with him and he panics? Kylie, just go and freshen up. Your mate needs you strong and I promise he'll stay here till you come back. Maybe it was the nickname that I only used in our childhood when I got scared or need him to chase the fear away, or the fact that his mate needs him strong. Kyle slowly got up and before making any move to leave looked at me. Promise you would call me if anything happens. Promise. He looks at his mate one more time before leaving. I want to do something for them. I want to do something that will fix Steven. But I can't do anything. My brother is hurting. His mate is lying here with all those wounds covering his whole body. And I can't fucking do anything. I'm sorry. I promised to protect you and I failed you. I failed both of you. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault. So stop blaming yourself. You couldn't have stopped this from happening. How did you know I'm here? I asked Jay as he put a hand on my shoulder. I know you, that's how. How is he? What did the doctor say when HCS gonna wake up? He has a couple of broken ribs, broken right arm, and several wounds on his body. Bruises literally cover his whole body. And there's also enough wolfsbane in his system to make his healing slower than human. Chapter 27. He has a couple of broken ribs, broken right arm, and several wounds on his body. Bruises literally cover his whole body. And there's also enough wolfsbane in his system to make his healing slower than human. But he looks a lot better today. Yeah, Kyle spent the night with him. I just sent him home to freshen up. Jay started saying something but stopped and sniffed the air. Why do you smell like him? Like who? You know who. Stop spending time with Tyler. You are turning into him. And goddess forbids we got one more of him. Adrien. Why do you smell off him? Because No shit, Sherlock. Did you guys did anything last night? No, we just talked about everything. Just talked. Yeah. Right, wait. Everything. Yup, he took it really well. And I'm glad that now there is no secret between us, so. Is he leading the pack for until this mess is over? Nope. Well, well, he is your mate after all. I glared at him and he chuckled at me. We were just staring at each other. Well, I was glaring at him and he was clearly enjoying it, just clearly entered the room. He checked Steven and told us that he's healing but at a very slow rate, as wolfsbane was still in his system, and Kyle needs to spend as much time with his mate as possible. I don't think that's going to be a problem. We will have to drag him out to eat or things. I sent Jay to prepare for the pack meeting in which we'll tell everyone about the upcoming war and discuss our basic strategies. I sat next to the bed and took Steven's hand in mine. He doesn't look like the happy and confident person I had met in my office. I look at his hand and start concentrating on his pain. I can't do much at this moment for him. The least I could do is take his pain away. After his mate. Only Alpha could take his pain. And his mate also needs a break. With his pain lesson, his healing would be a bit fast. I would have been there for half an hour when the door opened. I take my hand away from Steven before the person entered could look. But one look on Dad's face told me that he knew. You need your energy, baby. Pack depends on you, Dad mind linked me, and I nodded my head in understanding. You don't need to do that, Eddie. I turned back to see Kyle enter the room and come to me. Do what? I asked, genuinely confused. Take his pain. I know you blame yourself, but it's not your fault. Just wanted to help. He hugged me and then said that he knows. We spent some time there desperately hoping that Steven would wake up even though we knew that would take some time. After a while, Dad and I bid our farewell and made our way to Pack House for the meeting. Everyone was already there waiting for us, including Adrien, who looked exhausted. I smiled at everyone and asked if they knew the reason behind this meeting, and they told me that they know. So he wants to fight us because we are not giving up our pack member. Let them know we never give up one of our own. Called a voice from the crowd following with agreement. I can't say that I'm not proud to be part of them. You know the basic protocol, old. Children, women and anyone else who can't protect them will stay in the pack house. Some warriors will be posted near the pack house covering all the directions, and rest will be posted near the border in small units leading by me. Tyler, Jackson, Michael, Jay and Dad. Anyone has any questions? One hand raised from the far end and I signaled them to speak. Alpha, but what about female warriors unit? Won't we be fighting? Didn't I say all warriors will fight? But only those will be fighting who have completed their training. and reigned and those who haven't completed their training won't be fighting.